Hi, welcome to Azure User Group Sweden. Hi, Håkan.
Hello, Jonah. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great, and I felt a bit relaxed with the intro that we have. Like it's a very good music, and we're keeping it. It's great. Yeah. How about you? How have you been?
Yeah, it's been good. It's still very snowy and cold here where I am in Norway. So I don't know how it is in on your side.
It, it's a beautiful winter day today.
Mhm.
I haven't checked how much temperature, but it's just lagom or good enough in Swedish.
Yeah.
Very sunny winter days. I took some great photos with my dogs. It was great. I do see also that we both have Azure Heroes T-shirt. Oh, not shown in the camera, but yeah, yes. So to those that followed Håkan and I we're Azure Heroes, and we got some swags that we use sometimes. Yes, but I hope those that are watching us today are having a good day and have good comfort in your home, wherever you're watching us. And today we do have an interesting session about hybrid cloud. But before we do that, let me just introduce Håkan to the first timer. So, Håkan is my co community leader at Azure User Group Sweden. He is also a Microsoft MVP for AI technologies. He is a community leader of AI 42 Oslo.net Norwegian group. He is very active in the community as an MVP, Microsoft certified trainer, and he works as an AI specialist at Miles, Norway. So that's Håkan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jonah. So I'm also very proud and happy to introduce the founder of our user group, Jonah Anderson. So Jonah is a Microsoft Azure MVP. She's also a Microsoft certified trainer. She's a podcast host and she's a mentor and also international public speaker and a book author with a book published here on O'Reilly on Azure. And in her daily job, she works as a senior Azure consultant for Solidify in Sweden.
Yes, thank you for the introduction, and I appreciate that. So, before we bring in our special guest today, let me just inform everyone about our code of conduct. So, at Azure User Group Sweden, we follow a code of conduct, and we expect everyone to be nice and friendly, listen with purpose, and be thoughtful, be respectful, seek to understand and not criticize others. And if you have ideas and curious about the topic that we shared, feel free to open it and share it to others. And be inclusive with your comments and questions on our live chat and even our after session discussion today. If you have questions about the code of conduct, feel free to reach out to me and Håkan.
Yes, so and then we should also mention that after our session, we also have Azure User Group Sweden Fika, which is basically just a short gathering, like 10-15 minutes, so that you can get together with our speaker and ask some questions that you want to ask him. So welcome to that.
Yes. Okay.
So now
Right.
it's time here to introduce our speaker here for today. So let's welcome him onto the stage. Welcome, Thomas.
Hello. Sorry.
Hi, Thomas. Nice to finally meet you virtually first time.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes.
So we should give maybe a little bit formal introduction here to Thomas. Thomas Bründl works as a hybrid cloud and data center expert at ACP IT Solutions, and he is also part of a cloud engineering team where he helps companies to transform business to the cloud with a strong focus on both Azure and also on AWS. And in some of his previous roles, he was responsible for migration of a software suite that was designed for the financial sector, as well for continuous improvement. And this type of work requires a good knowledge of both the whole IT landscape on premise, as well as the capabilities that you can get by offering by major hyperscalers. And currently it's focused on hybrid solutions, such as what we're going to talk about today, Azure Stack HCI and Azure Arc, Netapp OnTap, and many others. So we're very happy to have you here, Thomas.
Yes.
Thank you for the extended introduction.
Yes.
So would you like to say something to our viewers here on what they will see here today in our session?
Yes, I'm very happy that you have me in this session, and I hope I can share some knowledge and information on this topic. It's one of my favorite topics, and um, hopefully you will take a lot of infos with it. And if you have any questions, I will share my contact informations, and I'm open to any questions, and you are. I will support and help as far as good as I could.
Yes, that's great. One question: you're joining us from Belgium, right? Or let me
No,
correct.
from Austria,
From Austria. Okay.
not Australia,
Yes.
Austria.
Austria.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, I think it's the first time, Håkan, we got a guest from Austria, right? One
Yes.
of the countries I would like to visit someday. I'll let you know if I if I speak in a conference there. But nice to know that. Thank you.
There is some possibility for you to speak. We have experts live. I think this is a format you know, and it's a
Yes.
global format. And
Hmm?
I think there are sessions
In
open.
your
So
everywhere. Yes.
maybe
Yeah.
you want to.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Sure. Okay, should we get started? Do you have a presentation you want to share? No?
Yes, one moment.
Yes, everyone is saying hi. We have Wayne saying hi from South Africa. We have Andre, hi Andre, from the Netherlands. And we also have Ashish from Norway. And Said, I know he's also from Sweden. Welcome, everyone. Glad you could join us. Okay. Yes. Let's just wait for Thomas to stage. Right, great. Yes, the stage is yours, Thomas.
Perfect. I hope everybody can hear me. Um, as already said, I'm happy that you joined and tuned in today, and you are willing to learn something new about Azure Stack HCI and the Azure Arc Resource Bridge. And my name is Thomas, and I'm presenting this for you today. So, what are we going to cover in this session in detail? First, let's take a look at what Azure Stack HCI is and how it works. This is crucial as it's the main platform on which you can run the Azure Resource Bridge, and all demos of this session are based on this technology. Then next, I would like to present the most important use cases of Azure Stack HCI to give you a feeling where to use it beneficially. At this point, we have already completed the first theoretical part, and together we will do some demo. The goal is to present you the interface and what this looked like to work on this platform. Having established this foundation, we will start with the main topic and explore what Azure Arc Resource Bridge is all about. And of course, we will also examine the capabilities available to us with this solution. It's important to understand that the exact range depends on the used hosting platform. means if it's used on VMware, vSphere, Azure Stack HCI, System Center, virtual manage System Center virtual management, we could be also a platform for this. The last theoretical part deals with the two usage scenarios and their respective conceptualization. And last but not least, we should have also a second demo hands-on lab where we see the VM management capabilities of the Azure Arc Resource Bridge in action. If you have any question, feel free to ask during the session. I am trying to stop and answer it so as good as I could. So let's jump straight into the medias res and tackle the question: what is Azure Stack HCI? Azure Stack is a family of products that provide an extension of Azure to consistently build and run hybrid applications across data center, edge locations, remote offices, and clouds. And the Azure Stack family consists of Azure Stack Hub, Azure Stack Edge, and Azure Stack HCI. Let's take a quick look at each solution and how it can be used in detail before we focus on Azure Stack HCI. Azure Stack Edge is a cloud managed appliance with common use cases are involved with machine learning, edge computing, IoT, and also data ingestions to the cloud can be found on this device. Then we also have the Azure Stack Hub. This is for disconnected scenarios where large computing power is needed. A use case, for example, could be a military one, like a data center infrastructure on an aircraft carrier. Or if you think about Formula One racing, where you should have your infrastructure available and may not be connected to the internet all the time. And last but not least, we have Azure Stack HCI, which is a good choice if you have, for example, a data center and need to modernize it. If you want to have remote branch offices integrated in your global IT strategy, it could be a beneficial solution for you. But before we take a closer look at the Azure Stack, we first need to understand what HCI or hyperconverged means. The easiest way to explain this is with a simple figure. On the left side, we have a classic three-tier infrastructure consisting of the components listed here, like Ethernet switches, the hypervisors, the storage fabrics, the SANs, and MISC appliances. And on the right side, we have the hyper-converged version of this. And you see that the amount of space needed here is on the right side not as big as on the left side. And the difference is, to bring it to a point, the hyper-converged infrastructure they have been pulled together all components as far as possible, and everything should be manageable from a single class and from a single portal. Yes. So this is the transition. And if you look at this, it's already clear that this has also great advantages, like less space requirements, as I have already mentioned, less power consumption, and maybe also less personnel, because I don't need a specialist for the storage fabric and a specialist for Ethernet switches. It's all combined together in this one box. There's a question from the audience: what is storage fabric? It means the whole infrastructure with SAN. If there is some other storages also included in this whole um, um, solution, it's summed up in the term of storage fabric. So there is also a storage network component, and this is the whole term for that. Okay, what do we find now under the hood of an Azure Stack HCI solution? The following illustration on the left side must be read from bottom to top, and therefore we have to start with the hardware. Consequently, only verified hardware from OEM partner like HP, Dell, or Lenovo. I think DataOn is also a bigger player in this market, is used. Indeed, from a hardware perspective, the entire solution can come from a single partner and is then labeled as an integrated system. This has the advantage that you can get the stack fully functional up to the operating system level, and you only have to connect it to the Azure cloud. So you don't have to care about the BIOS updating, setting up the operating system, and this kind of actions. Of course, this implies that the hardware has to be bought completely new, and that old hardware is not reused. If you have to reuse, you don't get these features from the integrated version. Then we speak from so-called verified hardware. The next component is the Azure Stack HCI OS. At the moment, we have a major switch from 22H2 to 23H2, and I'm very happy that this takes place, because 23H2 has very cool new features, and it's also something that has some implications to our demo today. Then in this operating system, we will find three technologies, three key technologies. Basically, the Azure Stack HCI OS is based on Windows Server Core, and but it's a optimized Windows Server Core operating system. So all unnecessary technologies and components were removed. And to come back to the three key technologies, as mentioned, they are Storage Space Direct to provide software-defined storage, Hyper-V as a virtualization technology to provide the computer resources, and SDN, software-defined networking, to be able to handle the network layer in an abstracted way as well. Based on this foundation, you can now deploy traditional workloads in form of virtual machines, no matter if they are Linux-based or Windows-based. And of course, there are also modern workloads possible using a Kubernetes cluster, explicitly AKS. I will show you, there's one question from the audience. The question is, can I run this on my dev machine? You can, I will show it in a demo lab that this is possible. You need a very good performing demo environment, but for productive workload, you should have verified or integrated hardware in regards to the support of Microsoft. Okay. I stopped by the workloads, and now we should ask ourselves, how can we manage this? And the workloads provisioned here, and the way to do is by using Windows Admin Center or directly from Azure. And that's the place where the Azure Arc Resource Bridge joins the game. And last but not least, you are able to connect the whole stack with the services and capabilities of the cloud. So this is all summed up in a solution called Azure Arc. And you are able to use Azure Backup, monitor site recovery, but I will show this also in the demo we will see later on. So now that we know what Azure Stack HCI is and how the components interact at the different levels, the next step is to find out how we can how it can be used. The first use case I want to show is something that typically occurs in waves or cyclically. So we have to refresh your hardware in data centers, and there Azure Stack could be a good choice for it. As we have already learned, this is a very compact and efficient hardware that can be used in a space-saving and cost-saving manner. A smaller, more efficient system reduce energy costs and the space used, and therefore offers more room for scaling in the future. Additional new technologies are also used, and this will increase the security that will be some part of out of the box. The next use case I would like to talk about is the provision of infrastructure at the edge or at remote branches. Let's say we want to equip such a location with hardware to provide a service independently of the availability of a cloud provider or a continuous internet connection. That would be a great scenario for an Azure Stack HCI. Basically, you only need to purchase an integrated model from one of the official and OEM partners, have it delivered and plugged in, and then everything can be done remotely and at the clients. In many cases, it's obviously desirable to be able to provide a database workload, and in case of Microsoft, it's a Microsoft SQL. Are there some sound issues?
And no, it sounds fine here on our side.
Okay. And in case of Microsoft, it's no wonder Microsoft SQL is the database service that performs best on this platform. And the reason for this is easy to be answered. The manufacturer knows its product and its platform best, and has naturally coordinated these two topics in the best possible way. And the last use case with the most cloud modernization options is the Kubernetes use case. So on this basis, you are able to deploy your own developed applications, and on no matter where they are, means no matter if you have your infrastructure distributed on remote branches, and also you have the possibility to consume so-called PaaS services, platform as a services. So you don't have to care about maintaining and updating these platforms. They are updated by Microsoft, and if there are some new versions and patches to be done, it's pushed from the cloud to your environment. So it's time for the first demo. I will switch to my environment. And to come back to the point, if you can use this in a dev environment, my lab is a little server with a lot of memory, and I used Hyper-V to set up this whole infrastructure. As you can see, there is a domain controller, 2 Azure Stack HCI nodes involved, and I have also one management server where I can do all the maintenance. And then there is also a server core server for the Windows application center gateway. And yeah, that's the infrastructure I'm using here. So, and I'm now on this management workstation, and there I opened the Azure portal, and the first step we have to look is to the Azure Arc service. And I have onboarded my cluster. You will find it here under Azure Stack HCI. All clusters, and you see my cluster is connected, and let's jump here into it. and there are many possibilities here. You are able, for example, to have a monitoring solution enabled, monitoring insights. There you can see the health status for the infrastructure. There is at the moment no fault on this cluster, so nothing to show here. I get informations about the servers. It needs some time to load. Then these are the two nodes that are connected to the cloud. You see they are healthy. There is no workload that push up the CPU usage. You see the memory usage, how many cores are involved, and yeah. Then there are some figures. And let's see what we can see next. We have virtual machines here as well. So there are two VMs running on this cluster. And you can also have some insights regarding the storage. There are 3 volumes at the moment. With this is the name of the volumes here, the healthy state, the total capacity, and you will get also some figures about IOPS, throughput, latency, a lot of insights here. Okay. When we are going to manage an Azure Stack HCI, we have the possibility to manage it with Windows Admin Center. This can be provided over a virtual machine in your on-prem environment, but it can also be provided directly in the Azure portal. We have option here called Windows Admin Center. This is a preview option, but it works at the same amount like on-prem. So we'll switch to this. And as you can see, we have the classic Windows Admin Center interface. There you will have a dashboard with all the metrics and informations as we have already seen in the Azure portal in the cluster resource. From this place, you are also able to manage the virtual machines. You can create new machines. You can power on, power off. If you work from the portal, from the Azure portal, it's clear that there is some latence. I will open this as well directly in the infrastructure. Give me some minute, please. And this is much faster. Always the question for credentials. Oh. So we are back in the cluster information, and as you can see, there is no difference between this view and the view directly from the portal. And the view is based on the capabilities of Hyper-V, and you are able to manage the volumes, the drives. You are able to manage a Kubernetes service, infrastructure, the virtual switches. ATC is the solution to manage network connections in an automatically manner. So if you put, for example, a new NIC into your cluster, and the only thing you have to do is to assign an intent to this new NIC, and then it will be configured and set up automatically, and everything goes up and working. Yeah. Any questions at this place regarding Azure Stack HCI? I think that's enough for a look and feel.
Yes, no questions so far, but I think there was one that earlier, that question from Wayne that probably we missed. He had a question: what is storage
I
fabric?
have already
I
answered
did.
this.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe I missed that. Yes. No questions, I think. There were comments. This
Okay.
one. I think there are many good use cases for this. Dev environments, on-prem data.
One
Mm,
uh, information for to this comment, maybe
mm,
a useful information. The Azure Stack HCI is limited to a cluster size of 16 nodes. So if you have much more cluster, you should, or if you need much more nodes involved in such a cluster, the way to go is to have more clusters. Yeah. Because if you compare it to a Windows Server cluster, there you could have 64 nodes. So this is 4 times bigger. Yeah? That you should have in mind if you choose this as your platform.
okay. I have a question that came up in my, not maybe related to the demo view that you have, but my question is, can you integrate this with Microsoft Defender for Cloud in terms of
Yes,
monitoring
yes, no,
security?
for sure.
Yes.
If you get here in the cluster overview in the Azure
Okay.
portal, there's a security place, and there you have the possibility to onboard your infrastructure in Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and then you have the same capabilities. If you are onboarded in Microsoft Defender for servers, so
Yes. Like the
events
VMs.
are
Yeah.
captured and log informations, and you have also features, data protection features, means you can manage encryption for your data encryption at rest with BitLocker. And you have also the possibility to have a network protection, means the communication to Azure is encrypted by default. But if you want to have storage traffic between your nodes encrypted as well, this is something that can be set up here as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you. No questions on my side so far. Thanks.
Okay. So I will jump back to the presentation now. And let's tackle the question, what is Azure Arc Resource Bridge? To have a good starting point, and in order to make it easy for myself, I use the official description and definition from Microsoft. But I don't want to read through it. Honestly, you don't need to invent the wheel every time. So what are the key points here? First of all, Azure Arc, the Azure Arc Resource Bridge is a solution managed by Microsoft and is part of the core Azure Arc platform. And if you are wondering what Azure Arc is, then I would like to explain this here only to such an extent that I say it's Microsoft central solution for building hybrid cloud solutions. You could easily fill an entire presentation with this topic alone. But don't let us get sidetracked. What does Azure Arc Resource Bridge do, and what is its purpose? In fact, it should simply facilitate the management of on-premise VMs from the cloud. In this context, it is important to mention that there are different platforms supported. Specifically, it's about Azure Stack HCI, as previously presented, for VMware vSphere and SCVMM. This time I speak it correctly. I pronounce it correctly. System Center Virtual Virtual Machine Manager. And now let's take a further look at how the whole solution is implemented technically. So this is the technical architecture of Azure Arc Resource Bridge. We have a cloud environment and the on-prem environment, and the cloud environment is based on the ARM technology. So you only have a representation of all the infrastructure components from on-prem in Azure. And then you have a Kubernetes cluster, and this on this Kubernetes cluster, you have the appliance, the Azure Arc Resource Bridge appliance running. And then you have also this Kubernetes cluster is running on the on-premise data center. And in the Azure Stack HCI, for example. On the other hand, if you use VMware vSphere, you have a dedicated appliance you have to download. It's also a Kubernetes, and this is connected to the cloud. And if you're on board your on-premise data center, you have also to define location, so-called custom locations. And these custom locations can be compared with the regions you have available in Azure, like West Europe, East US, and so on. And this makes it possible to create, for example, virtual machines by choosing this custom location as a target. And then you are able to deploy virtual machines from the portal to your on-prem infrastructure. Yeah. What you should have in mind is that the Azure Resource Bridge capabilities differs from the used platform, because the integration is different. For example, if you use vCenter, vSphere, you don't have the possibility at the moment to create virtual machines from the portal. This is something that is only available for Azure Stack HCI. So let's go on to the capabilities. As I have already mentioned, you can create virtual machines, remove virtual machines with HCI 23H2. So in former versions of Azure Stack HCI 22H2, this was also possible, but they removed this capability and said we have to switch over to HCI 23H2. Then something that is possible for every platform connected to the Azure Arc Resource Bridge are classic management operations like start, stop, restart a virtual machine. You have the possibility to control the access to your infrastructure, and you can also add Azure tags for billing purposes or governmental purposes. For example, if you want to have your virtual machines on-prem equipped with an Azure monitoring agent to have a complete overview, or to have information needed for Defender for Cloud. This can be done via policies, and the agent is then deployed to your on-prem infrastructure as well, in case you are provisioning the virtual machine by Azure Resource Bridge. Then you have the possibility to add, remove, and update your network interfaces on-prem. And as you have also the possibility to update disks and to reallocate the amount of CPU cores, the amount of memory, and so on. Then the most hypervisor platforms have something like guest management agent. This is something that can be enabled by default from the Azure Arc Resource Bridge. And then you have also the possibility to install extensions. For example, the desired state extension. So you can implement some kind of automation solutions, and deploy a virtual machine in the flavor and in the setup as you want to have it. So in this, what I want to tell you are the scenarios that are available with the Azure Arc Resource Bridge. The first scenario here is the VMware vSphere scenario, and there you see how to set up such a solution. You have the Azure Arc Resource Bridge in the center of the figure. Connected the VMware vCenter server. I will take a laser pointer, the VMware vCenter server, and the VMware vCenter server is the management appliance for VMware to manage the nodes. And in this setup, the nodes are called as XE hosts. And on this basis, you have the virtual machines and also the virtual networks and templates you are able to access over the Azure Arc Resource Bridge to deploy new virtual machines. The Azure Arc Resource Bridge is then connected to the cloud, and all these VM are represented over the ARM technology as resources in the cloud. And if you are working with AKS, you have also the possibility to get PaaS services on the whole solution. And this is only a scenario for a one-side solution. If you have, for example, a multi-site scenario, in this case, you have an Azure Stack HCI in New York and an Azure Stack HCI in Canada, and this is something that will also work. So you can have your main data center in Azure, and the branch offices are equipped with Azure Stack HCI. So let's jump to the last part, the demo part. So how does it look like in regards of Azure Resource Bridge? I have to switch again to the Azure Arc service. There you will find an option with Resource Bridge. I have one Resource Bridge in place, and there is also a custom location attached to this Resource Bridge, and this is, as I have already mentioned, the region where to deploy your workloads. And if I drill down here, you will see that there are some resources already provisioned. In this case, I have 3 virtual networks set up, and one image is available for deployment. In this case, Windows 11. And if I go back to the main overview, I have the infrastructure part here, and there are the Azure Arc Virtual Machine preview link here. The problem is that there is a major switch at the moment from 22 H2 to 23 H2, and therefore this overview is going to be updated. If you want to create a virtual machine, we have to go back to the Azure Stack HCI link. I will show you that here. And with this Azure Arc Resource Bridge in place, you have the possibility here to create new virtual machines. To be honest, I have only a cluster 22 H2 in place, and this feature isn't any longer supported. So I can only show you the steps that would be involved, but I cannot click on deploy. I'm very sorry for that, because I have worked really hard with a Microsoft employee of the fast track team to get 23 H2 working, but I didn't have luck at this topic. So I hope you understand, and I apologize for that. Okay, we are going to create an Azure Arc virtual machine. I have to choose a subscription, a resource group. Then I can pick a virtual machine name. The custom location is predefined. If I would have a different platform in place, I could choose of the platform here. You have the possibility to set a security type and to choose a image from the gallery, but this is something that don't work because of the change to 23H2. As you can see, that's not possible on 22H2. Then you have the option to set up the processor count, the amount of memory, if it should be assigned in a static way or a dynamical way, which VM extensions should be installed, and so on. And you have also other options here, but I'm not able to show you that at the moment. I will give you some links, and there you can watch a video how the whole process works in complete. And I will give you also an guide and description to this. Yeah, and if you are able to get this view working, then you have the possibility to manage all the virtual machines with the capabilities I have introduced to you before: start, stop, resizing, and so on. Yeah, that's it. I will change back to my presentation. Sorry. So what are useful references? And if you are now inspired and also wish to get to grips with Azure Stack HCI and the Resource Bridge, you should definitely familiarize yourself with the following pages. First of all, I want to introduce you the Azure Arc Jumpstart project. It started originally as an internal Microsoft collection of PowerShell scripts for deploying Azure Arc scenarios into tests and demo environments. Due to high customer demand for those environments, it evolved into its own program and product within the Azure portfolio. In short, it is a collection of templates to quickly deploy and test the various Azure Arc components. Obviously, Azure is used with this as the underlying platform. And of course, there's also an option of testing Azure Stack HCI this way. And we are speaking here from the Jumpstart HCI box. In order to avoid cloud costs and to use hardware that you have maybe already at your disposal, it makes sense to use a GitHub project by Jaromir Kaspar as Senior Principal Engineer Technologist at Dell. He created something similar to the Azure Arc Jumpstart project. The repository provides a large number of scripts that can be used to deploy and test most Azure Stack HCI scenarios using Hyper-V. This greatly reduces setup time and complexity. Then Microsoft itself has also provided a way to explore Azure Stack HCI, known as the Azure Stack HCI Evaluation Guide. To be honest, I only used it once, as I found myself much better served by the two other options presented previously. And if you want to interact with people in the Azure Stack HCI community, you should join the Azure Stack HCI Insider program. You have to fill in a form, and then you will be invited to join a Slack channel. And instantly you have plenty of like-minded people to bounce ideas off and off. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you for your attention. We have now reached the end of the workshop. I hope there was something useful for you. And there are my contact informations. Feel free to ask me questions, and maybe I can help you set up your own lab environments. Hopefully, Microsoft will get their troubles. They will solve the troubles with the 23H2 version of Azure Stack HCI. And yeah, in case you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to me.
Okay, so thank you very much, Thomas, for a great session.
Yes, very informative and lots of details. Very curious. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry for that. My demo environment doesn't work as expected. I tried to best to get it up and running.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's like beyond our control.
yeah.
But I'm sure our audience that watches live today have gained a lot of insights from you. I'm actually, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we actually have a comment here from
Yes.
Nikos. So I'm not going to read that because I don't speak German here, but maybe you can read it.
He said, many thanks for the nice presentation, Thomas. I love Azure Arc.
Oh,
Oh,
great. I didn't
nice.
know Nikos can speak the language. Uh-huh. Great. We also have another feedback from Ashish. Very nice workshop. Um, and a question from Nikos. Are there any security concerns logging in as root via Arc?
You mean if you have Arc enabled Linux-based virtual machine? I think it's always a problem to root into a virtual machine. So only need use the security level you are needed. So for your daily work, I think no sudo rights are needed. So yeah.
Yes. Thank you. And then we have more feedback. Can you, that I don't understand. You can translate for the English speakers for us, Thomas, if it's okay.
Um, uh, Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend, Thomas.
Oh, thank you, Vedran, for the feedback and comment for everyone to Thomas. And we also have kudos from Wayne. Thank you for the great presentation.
You are welcome.
Okay. Yes. So I believe those are all the questions that we have, Håkan. Did I miss anybody? No,
I think
don't so.
we've covered all.
Okay. That's great. So any final words, Thomas, that you want to share, or events coming up, engagement that you want to share to our audience that watches live and even recording later?
One point I want to add is that I will make a PDF of the presentation, and we will hand it over to you, Jonah. And hopefully you will share the link so people can download it and use for use the references, because I think that are very useful references, and it
Yeah,
helped me a
true.
lot,
Yes.
because hybrid solutions sometimes have some problems.
Yeah, I know. You did mention that you can help if someone needed help with the demo setup, and this topic is actually something that I want to learn, get my hands on for real. So probably I'll reach out to you and get some help in setting up my demo environment to learn the hybrid development. Yes. So I think we come to the end of our session, and thank you so much, tack så mycket, Thomas. That's in Swedish, for sharing your knowledge. We appreciate it so much. And to those that wants to join us, Thomas will be available for the next 15-20 minutes maybe to answer more questions and to mingle with you if you have time. And to join us, feel free to scan the QR code to join the Zoom, or just do the bit.ly link with /ASUG Sweden Fika, today's date, 2024-01-27. Okay. Anything else, Håkan?
No, I think that's it.
All right. So thank you so much. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you, Thomas.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See
Bye.
you next time.